Hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. We land the and on make a move. We come here on stage tonight to do our show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm and a high-tech sound that'll make you move your body down to the ground. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Louis and Gilbert will be joining in. We got Rhoda Presley on the main guitar, and a rap by little old me. Look up, we got Kashi King on his dome. The boys and the girls are clapping along, and just when you thought you seen it all, along comes a land of folk tone. So won't you come on out here on the floor, so we can have these the never before.
Pure energy.
Now that's some pure energy. I told Kate, I said, the hardest part of this program is I can't do anything. I have to just stand there. It's really hard. I want to dance a boogie. All right, so moving on. So again, I hate to be a poopy pants, but we're going to start the program off with something pretty cruddy. So, we got some fun in, but now we got to get serious because there's some stuff you guys need to know, and we need to make sure you understand how critically important this is. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Okay, here we go.
It's not an overstatement to say that I learned virtually nothing at Stanford Medical School about the tens of thousands of scientific papers that elucidate these root causes of why American health is plummeting and how environmental factors are causing it. For instance, in medical school, I did not learn that for each additional serving of ultra-processed food we eat, early mortality increases by 18%. This now makes up 67% of the foods our kids are eating. I took 0 nutrition courses in medical school. I didn't learn that 82% of independently funded studies show harm from processed food, while 93% of industry-sponsored studies reflect no harm. In medical school, I didn't learn that 95% of the people who created the recent USDA food guidelines for America had significant conflicts of interest with the food industry. I did not learn that 1 billion of synthetic pesticides are being sprayed on our food every single year. 99% of the farmland in the United States is sprayed with synthetic pesticides, many from China and Germany. And these invisible, tasteless chemicals are strongly linked to autism, ADHD, sex hormone disruption, thyroid disease, sperm dysfunction, Alzheimer's, dementia, birth defects, cancer, obesity, liver dysfunction, female infertility, and more, all by hurting our metabolic health. I did not learn that the 8 billion tons of plastic that have been produced just in the last 100 years, plastic was only invented about 100 years ago, are being broken down into microplastics that are now filling our food, our water, and we are now even inhaling them in our air. And that very recent research from just the past couple of months tells us that now about 0.5% of our brain are now plastic. I didn't learn that there are more than 80,000 toxins that have entered our food, water, air, and homes by industry, many of which are banned in Europe, and they are known to alter our gene expression, alter our microbiome composition and the lining of our gut, and disrupt our hormones. I didn't learn that heavy metals like aluminum and lead are present in our food, our baby formula, personal care products, our soil, and many of the mandated medications like vaccines, and that these metals are neurotoxic and inflammatory. I didn't learn that the average American walks a paltry 3,500 steps per day, even though we know, based on science and top journals, that simply walking 7,000 steps a day slashes by 40 to 60% our risk of Alzheimer's, dementia, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and obesity. I certainly did not learn that medical error and medications are the third leading cause of death in the United States. I didn't learn that just 5 nights of sleep deprivation can induce full-blown prediabetes. I learned nothing about sleep, and we're getting about 20% less sleep on average than we were 100 years ago. I didn't learn that American children are getting less time outdoors now than a maximum security prisoner. And on average, adults spend 93% of their time indoors, even though we know from the science that separation from sunlight destroys our circadian biology, and circadian biology dictates our cellular biology. I didn't learn that professional organizations that we get our practice guideline from, like the American Diabetes Association and American Academy of Pediatrics, have taken tens of millions of dollars from Coke, Cadbury, processed food companies, and vaccine manufacturers like Moderna. I didn't learn that if we address these root causes that all lead to metabolic dysfunction and help food and lifestyle patterns with united, strong voice, we could reverse the chronic disease crisis in America, save millions of lives and trillions of dollars in healthcare costs per year. Instead, doctors are learning that the body is 100 separate parts, and we learn how to drug, we learn how to cut, and we learn how to bill.
So I guess my question to all of you, is that heartbreaking or what? And this is the thing I want you to realize. Did you hear what she said? I mean, these companies, the American Heart Association really was going bankrupt. And they approached these companies, and they're sponsored by Coke. They're sponsored by all these companies that are manipulating what the medical doctors learn and what they do. And she hit a nail on the head. Drug, cut, and burn. That's all they do.
Burn or bill?
Bill and cut, poison, and burn if you want to talk about cancer. But bill. And that's all they know. So we have to realize that these pesticides, these herbicides, these microplastics, we are literally destroying our country. And we're destroying our kids. We have to start taking this thing seriously. We can't keep screwing around and keep going, well, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. Infertility in the United States is at an epidemic proportion. We can't conceive kids anymore. We're killing ourselves. My vision, for this room, now listen to me, is to change the world. I want people to look at this moment in time, this day, this office right now. I want to see a transformation in the way we look at health. But here's what I know. I can't do it alone. I need each of you to step up and play big and play hard. Because it's not an easy trek. They have billions of dollars, tons of power. They have governmental influence. But we can do it if you're willing to step up. See, when I was a kid, I watched a show, and I think I was an adult actually when I watched it, to be 100% honest. It was called Pinky and the Brain. Anybody remember that show? Okay. Remember Pinky? Right? Pinky was like the little Jerry Lewis type kid. He was a mouse. Okay. And then there was the Brain. He was an oversized brain mouse. And Pinky every day, Brain, what are we going to do today? Brain, what are we going to do? What do you always say? We're going to take over the world. So by God, let's take over the world, shall we? Anybody want to join me on that quest? You want to just sit in the chair and be a pew sitter? It's time to step up. It's time for each of you to participate in your own health and the health of the loved ones that you care about. Because I just can't keep smacking the table all the time. It's got to be somebody helping me. It's got to be you. Because I don't have the kind of money to advertise on the television show. Who's on the TV? Drug companies, insurance companies and car companies and food industry, right? They're all the number one lobbies in the American culture. So it's crazy. So I need you to join my mission. Here's what we say. Save this date. Now, here's the thing. Save that date. That's my next dinner. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Do not come to the dinner if I don't make my case to you today. Fair? So don't come. Don't come back. Just disappear and never come back and see me. Because if I don't make my case, I don't deserve your help. Dinner with the doc. Okay, it's coming up. Sign up tonight. Now, after the program's over, the team's going to ask you, do you want to come to dinner? And your answer is going to be yes, if I made my case. But if I made my case for real, you're going to bring friends. You're going to bring one person, 2 people, 10 people, 20 people. By God, let's just take over a damn restaurant, shall we? So let's do it. Okay, so here's the last thing right here. We are here to transform the world, and I need your help. So can you step up? Can you step up and play big with me, or are we going to play small? Because that's the problem. They all play too small. So pure energy. What does pure mean? Free of contamination. Fair? So we're going to talk a lot about contamination today. And then energy. What is it? It's strength and vitality required to sustain physical and mental activity. That's what we're going to give you. Pure energy. We're going to make sure you walk out of here with that. Fair? All right. So in order to understand energy, we have to understand metabolism. And what is metabolism? So let's talk about that. Now, this is one of my colleagues right here. And can we see this? Oh, where'd it go? Come back. See that? Anybody recognize that on you or me or somebody else? That's where he is now. If he can do it, why can't you? If he can do it, why can't you? Okay? Scotty Gates. If he's done it, he can do it again. So there, and so can you. Here we go. There he is, 233 pounds, 189 pounds. If he can do it, you can do it. If he's done it before, by God, he can do it again. Yes? You just got to step up in order to make it happen. And it's not as hard as we think. There's so many things that are manipulating the way we try to lose weight, we finally just give up. So what is basal metabolic rate? Most people say this: I have a slow metabolism, that's why I can't burn calories, I can't lose weight. But it's more than that. What it is, it's more likely of a low BMR. Basal. What does that mean? Baseline. Basal metabolic rate. That's the amount, the rate at which you burn calories normally. Okay? So you're all sitting here in the room right now, and you all have different BMRs. But you're burning calories at a certain rate. So what do we have to do to lose weight? It's very simple. Raise the BMR. So if you're sitting there at a high BMR, you're going to burn fat, burn calories, and you're going to lose weight if your BMR is higher. But all the odds are stacked against you. It's nearly impossible because of what's happened to our environment and our world. This poor lady right here, look at her. I feel sad for her. You want to know why? Because she's been busting her fanny, working out, eating like a bird, eating lettuce for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and she can't lose weight. And I feel sad for her because the odds are stacked against her. Because the things you don't know will hurt you. And that's what we're going to talk about. Okay? 88%, a very important number. I want you to think about this room. Let's say 100 people. That means 88 people in this room right now are suffering from metabolic disease and don't even know it. You don't even know it. Because here's the problem. How do we know if you have one or not? Well, golly, Dr. Ray, I got to wait till I manifest the symptoms. Then I'll start taking action. Isn't that the American dream? You do nothing until you get cancer and then treat it. You do nothing until you get diabetes, then you treat it. You don't do anything until you get the condition and then you treat it. And that's a prescription for failure. So we can no longer suffer that. And that's this room. So we have to step up, I guarantee it. But metabolic disorders, when you think of metabolic disorders, these are the things you should be thinking of. Okay? High blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorder, thyroid dysfunction, nerve problem, PCOS, infertility, Cushing's disease, cancer, fatty liver, joint pain, neck pain, and back pain, obesity, and chronic pain. And this isn't an all-inclusive list. So how many of you can raise your hand? You don't have to, but raise your hand if you're on that list. You didn't have to, but you did. Okay, thank you. But you get it? So you're suffering from a metabolic disorder. You don't even know it. So let's fix it. And then it'll be a simple thing. Metabolism, food digestion, and energy. That's what it's all about. Now, I said this before, the standard American diet, right? Everybody else goes, oh, yeah, that's a terrible thing. That standard American diet, sad diet. Okay? But it's fat, sugar, and ultra-processed foods. What do they do to our food supply? They enhancers, right? To enhance the flavor, so you're going to overeat. They're over-processed. They have chemicals, additives, pesticides, herbicides. In fact, they put stuff in there that's not even food. And we call that our food supply. And we wonder why we're sick. We've got to change our diet. We've got to change. You can't just keep doing the same stuff and expect a different outcome. Are we clear? So we've got to make sure we're ready to step up. By the way, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not angry. Okay, I'm not. The word is compassionate. I'm compassionate and I'm pissed. I'm compassionate because I want you guys, if I could do it for you, I would. If I could just, I'll come to your house, I'll do your squats for you, I'll eat your breakfast for you, I'll make your breakfast for you, I'll do everything for you. I would love that, but I can't. You have to step up and you've got to be the person to play big. So you think of the standard American diet, there's some more fun up there, okay? Is that you? Is that part of you? Are you more of those people? Okay? But they all lead us down the path of chronic diseases, which didn't exist prior to 1950. They didn't even exist. The American Heart Association was going broke because there wasn't any heart disease. They studied it in school, but they didn't have any. Obesity continues to rise. 95% of fad diets fail. Why? Why? And you're going to hear something right now. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. But after tonight, it's your fault. Because you're going to learn and you need to take the action. And if you choose not to take the action, it's your fault. Now, again, are we normalizing this body image thing? Now, again, I'm not picking on anybody because I understand. Remember the gal? I'm frustrated because I can help her. I can help you. But we're normalizing, oh, you're okay, we're all okay. Well, I'm sorry, obesity is not okay because it's going to make people sick. And you can't say, I'm okay with obesity when you know it leads down the path of disease. Because it is, and you'll see the stats as we progress through. Remember this movie, anybody? Now check this out, okay? All right, now listen right away.
Have it all morning, so let's hover over to the driving range and hit a few virtual balls into space.
Nah, we did that yesterday. I don't want to do that.
Well, then what do you want to do?
I don't know. Something.
Wow.
Make a play, scream.
Jealous because it doesn't sound
Look, I'm tired of
So what's
it.
Alex waiting on?
If you can't fill the straw, it's not
you
really isn't any good.
What? Over here.
This movie was made not too long ago. But how much is it real? This is reality. Now watch what happens to this guy. Now check it out. By large, eat. Okay? Don't worry, just sit around. You'll be fine. The kid says, I'm not going to get out of my chair. Wait. See if I can. And how oblivious are we? We're so naive and oblivious. Look what happens. Oh, screw it. So look at my device. That poor guy needs some help. Who's going to help out somebody? Who's going to step up and play big? Nobody. Because this is the world we created. Now, guys, this is supposed to be a comedy, isn't it? But isn't it true? Isn't it true? On our devices, DoorDash, we don't even have to leave our house anymore. We never leave our house because heaven forbid we get any socialization. I can't come because I got to sit home and watch can I watch this on the rerun, Dr. Ray? Oh, sorry, it's not going to the watch party. Ironically, I used to know a watch party. I thought they meant watch party. You want to go to a watch party? No, I don't like watches. I'm so weird. Sorry. I didn't know what a watch party was. Sorry, I'm not that cool. All right. But Dr. Ray, you don't understand. Dude, I eat healthy. I eat healthy food. You don't understand. I'm doing it right. Are you? Let's find out. Okay. This one. Okay. Now, if you get a chance to watch this entire show, please do. I'm just going to play a few moments of it because this is really crazy.
Food is supposed to make us healthy, remain free of chronic diseases.
Food is supposed to support your health and life.
Food is supposed to give us the building blocks needed to build and repair the human body and the energy needed to do those processes. The reality today is that food is mostly harming us.
90% of the footprint of a supermarket is filled with what Michael Pollan once called food-like substances. They're not food.
No matter what chronic disease you look at, we've seen them rise from being very uncommon or extremely rare even or unknown to the most common diseases that even children are aware of.
We have food guidelines from the United States government. We have all of these things telling us how to eat, how to live our lives, how to exercise, and our health has done nothing but get worse.
So our public health system really is a disaster. They've done things like vilify saturated fat, vilify cholesterol, and confuse the whole subject.
We now live with so much sickness all around us that we can't even imagine what it feels like to live in a healthy society.
Over a 20-year span, no increase in calories, moderate increase in exercise, and yet obesity rates went from 30% to 42%. That should sound the alarm bells for us. We're doing something wrong.
So there has to be something else in the environment.
What we're being told to eat is at the heart of our problem.
From the research that I've done over the last 12 years particularly, the evidence leads me to believe that the seed oils, the highly polyunsaturated vegetable oils, are driving probably 90% of obesity and chronic disease across the board. Seed oils are the oils derived almost exclusively from seeds that mostly would have been waste products and or beans, in this case soybeans. So I've broken them down into the seed oils, and that would be oils like soybean, corn, canola, cottonseed, rapeseed, grapeseed, sunflower, safflower, rice bran, sesame, and peanut oils.
100 years ago, there was almost no chronic disease. Physicians knew what these diseases were and had written about them, and there were textbooks on them, but they were not observing them. There was virtually no obesity. Obesity was almost non-existent. There was almost zero diabetes. Now these are all at epidemic proportions in America.
And between 1865, when our consumption was zero in the United States, and it was less than 0.1 grams of vegetable oils per person per day in 1865, grew all the way to 65 grams per person per day by 2014 globally.
The average American consumes 3 to 5 tablespoons of seed oils per day, and it's in almost all ultra-processed foods. Salad dressings, it's in cookies, it's in cakes, it's in crackers, it's in breads, it's in plant milks. To consume the equivalent of 3 to 5 tablespoons of corn oil, we would have to eat 60 to 70 ears of corn. To consume the equivalent of 3 to 5 tablespoons of soybean oil, we're looking at more than 2 pounds of soybeans.
60 to 70 ears of corn per day. Can you do that? Anybody? But that's what we're putting into our bodies. Okay? Anybody heard of arsenic before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? That's what these seed oils do to our bodies. I don't know, there was a movie I watched where the mom was trickling in arsenic to kill her kid, make him look sick. Remember that show? I don't remember what it was. But over the course of time, the kid got sicker and sicker and sicker. And what do you think is happening to us as we're consuming these seed oils? You see? And these things are causing oxidative damage, which is leading us down the path of disease and obesity and all the stuff I talked about on the front end. You get it? So we've got to start making a change. And like I said, this is not your fault. You didn't know. You thought they were good for you, these seed oils. You know what they said in this study, in this program? They said that the second to the last step in processing these seed oils is called a deodorization. You have to deodorize them. Want to know why? Because they're rancid fats. They smell like crap. So if you open them up, ooh, man, I'm not going to put that in my body. But instead you go, ooh, nice, and it's all hydrogenated for our bodies, which aren't made for human bodies. We're cis-configurate, they trans fat them, they hydrogenate them and destroy them. We put them into our bodies, we integrate them into our cells, they get sticky, and we end up sick. Stay away from the seed oils. Okay? Make sure you're staying away from the seed oils. Okay? So let's look at this. And we looked at this, that was on I stole it from this program there, and those are your primary seed oils right there. Okay? And they're in everything. Okay? And look what happened. This is crazy. I saw this and I almost vomited. Look at that. No change in calorie consumption over the course of many years, and yet our obesity increased 42%. Huh. So is it calories or is it not? I don't know. Exercise, they said exercise increased actually during that time. And this was happened to the consumption of seed oils. Kind of a little correlation there maybe, perhaps, kind of, sort of. Okay? Ansel Keys. This is the guy who destroyed our lives. Okay? He was commissioned by the sugar manufacturing companies to do a study. And what he did, he studied cholesterol and he studied saturated fats and their risk of cardiovascular disease. And based upon his study and research, he found this. It's called the 7-country study. Those were the 7 countries involved. His conclusion was pretty profound. He found that saturated fat cholesterol caused heart disease. It was like, well, here's the graph, you tell me. They consumed the least amount of animal and saturated fats, had lowest cholesterol. This country right here had the highest saturated fat, highest cholesterol. Proof, right? Evidence. Now, let's do something special. Let's look at the other countries, okay, in the world that eat saturated fat and have high cholesterol. The other countries. Okay, not just the 7. We're going to look at all 7. Now look at the graph. You tell me where the correlation is. Could you draw a line? These are the countries he picked. But he left all these other people out to make his story. So look, check this out. I'll read this to you because you can't read it. It's immediately obvious that the inclusion of all the countries greatly reduces the apparent association. So is the association of saturated fat and cholesterol the heart disease? I don't see it. Anybody else see it in the room? Not unless you manipulate the results. And what they call that is called fudging. So that fudging was done and exposed. It's a shame. Now listen to this. This is going to make you crazy. It makes me vomit. Okay? It says, it took so long for the rebuttal, 1957, after the original presentation of the paper in 1953. What do we say today? Saturated fats are bad for us, and cholesterol causes heart disease. All because of Ansel Keys back in 1950. And who sponsored him? Sugar companies. Right? And then they started making seed oils. Why would we change? Everybody's making money. We want to vilify the fats, the saturated fats, bring on the cruddy, cheap inexpensive vegetable oils that were waste products, make them into a food product, and everybody starts making money, and then they take away all the fat out of our food, and what do they add in? Sugar. Now we have high sugar content food, high of these seed oils, and don't eat saturated fat because your brain's made of 60% saturated fat and 40% cholesterol. Why do you think dementia and Alzheimer's is at an all-time high? Because of our food, because of what we're eating. You are what they ate. You are what they ate. So if you got a cow that's eating garbage laden with pesticides, sugar, and herbicides, what do you think you're going to get? See, the problem is, well, saturated fats are bad for us. Well, of course they are, because we've destroyed our food supply. So what are we supposed to eat? See the problem? We have to start thinking. No, so let's check this out. We're going to eat what they eat. Check it out. Ready? There we go.
At Mayfield's United Livestock Commodities, owner Joseph Watson is tweaking the recipe for success.
Just to be able to survive, we have to look for other sources of nutrition.
His 1,400 cattle are no longer feeding off corn. The prices, Watson says, are too high to keep in stock. So earlier this year, he began to buy secondhand candy.
It has a higher ratio of fat than actually feeding straight corn.
Which is important because all of these cattle will be brought to slaughter. So Watson wants them to gain weight, and by feeding them chocolate, it gets the job done.
It's hard to believe it will work, but I mean, we've already seen the results of it now.
With all this candy, you might be asking yourself, can this really be healthy? Watson says it is because he monitors the cattle's daily intake.
That guy, you saw him? Pretty healthy looking guy. Okay? So he knows all about nutrition because this has a lot more fat in it, the seed oils, and a lot more sugar, which makes them fat, which makes them gain weight. And what are you going to get price? Now you take the cows, these fat cows to slaughter, what do you think you're going to make? Heck of a lot more money. Nobody believed me. There's the video about cows eating candy. So if you're eating, Dr. Ray, I never touch candy. I just eat my, well, I'm sorry, you're eating it on accident. Oh. No, because that's the point, isn't it? There's an organic cow, we're coming to that, but the organic cows, if you eat an organic steak, which made healthy, what should you do with the fat? Should you trim it off? Heck no, you should eat that first, because it's loaded with great nutrients for your body, right? But the problem is, you go to a restaurant, where did it come from? I've seen restaurants that brag about the fact, these are grain-fed cows. Well, what's on the grain? Pesticides and herbicides. What's the grain made of? Sugar. What's that going to do to a cow? Make them fat. Better price. See the problem? So guys, we've got to start thinking. We got to use our minds. We got to listen to the science. Okay, so let's talk about chickens. Okay? We got 4 types. Range-free, pasture-raised, cage-free, and caged. Which is the bad one? We'll start with that. Anybody want to guess? Caged. So they put these chickens in cages. Here's an example of one right here in the picture. Okay? They cage them. They feed them. They have big feed lines, and they feed the chickens, and then they sell them. And they're huge because what are they feeding them? Animal byproducts, which is the waste products you normally throw away, but it makes them fatter, and they get more per pound for the chicken. Okay? Now, what about cage-free? Does that sound good? It sounds better than cage, doesn't it? Here's what they do. You ready? Cage-free. There's your caged chicken. We open up the pan, we pull out the chicken and put it like this and put them back in and close the cage. Cage-free. I don't know which better that is than caged, but it means that we got to leave the cage and get a little fiddling, I guess. I don't know. What do we got here? Then we got pasture-raised and free-range. They both sound kind of good, don't they? Now, pasture-raised, the problem is they're kept in big, huge pens, and once a day, they open it up, they let them run on the free range, then they chase them back in and put them back in their pen. So what's the real answer? No, pasture-raised. They're eating what? They're eating bugs and worms and sticks and little pieces of grass, and they're fiddling around. Okay, that's what they're supposed to be. So when you're looking at, unless you have two choices, you can buy your own cows and buy your own chickens and raise them yourself, or you got to do a little bit of trust on what the package says. And what you're looking for, guys, is pasture raised. Everybody got it? Write it down. Okay? What does grass fed mean? Cows should eat what? Grass. Anything else? Candy, grain, chicken byproducts. How about some leftover stuff? We'll throw that in the bin too. As long as we make them fat, who cares? No, they need to be fed grass. From what to what? From beginning to end. What's grass finished? Anybody?
They mix them up between.
They feed them garbage the whole time except during it's called the growing season, which is what? The Colorado, probably June, July, August. The rest of the time they're getting garbage, including candy. Grass fed. Read your packages. Learn your labels. Okay? So how else to supercharge your fat burning? Anybody? Well, just doing the things I taught you so far will do it. So start there. But there's some other cool things. Metabolically boosting foods. Now, a fat is not a fat. They're not equal. These are equal in fat content, but which one's going to make you fat? I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? We look on these over here. Yeah, but Dr. Ray, fats make us fat. No, they don't. Fats make us healthy if they're healthy fats. We got to know that. You can't eat, if you're going to a restaurant for dinner or go to a friend's house, trim off the fat and eat the meat. Don't be mean. Don't be rude. Eat the meat, but don't eat the fat unless you know for sure it's organic. Stop poisoning your body. Okay? And what else do we know? A calorie is not a calorie. Those are equal in calorie content. Oh my God, Dr. Ray, I can't eat any of this. This is too much calories. No, this helps you burn fat. You eat it in the right content. Okay? So advanced eating. Let's not make this hard. Everybody in this room, if you want to be on this program, should be doing advanced eating. And I'll talk about advanced versus core. Advanced eating, it's so simple. You guys make it everything hard. It's not. Okay? Organic animal products, the size of your palm. Organic vegetables. That's advanced eating. Okay? 5 meals a day, 3 shape meals, and 2 food meals as I just described. With the exception of 2 vegetables. Corn. I can't afford the corn, so I'm feeding candy. Oh my God, it makes me crazy. Okay? But you see, so corn and white potatoes. The 2 best ones, of course, right? Because they're loaded with sugar. Okay? That's it. That's advanced eating. So follow my guides. Do that. And you'll watch amazing things happen. Okay? Now, okay, this part right now, I got to tell you right now, guys, I am so freaking excited. Okay, I got to tell you right now, I'm about to pee my pants. That's how excited I am. This is the most amazing thing that's happened to Maximize Living since I joined years and years ago. Okay, and the coolest part, I got voted onto the board of Maximize Living, so thank you, congratulations. Finally, right? After all these years. But we've now done a lot of neat things already, and you're going to learn about some of them here. But Jordan Rubin, okay, he wrote a book a long time ago, okay, The Maker's Diet, and here's his story. I'm going to go really briefly because I can't spend a lot of time on this. But he was literally dying, okay, and the doctors kept giving more drugs, more pills, more procedures, and he kept getting worse and worse, and finally the final diagnosis was failure to thrive, which means we don't know why you're dying, but you're dying. Go home and die. He made a different story. He went home, sold all his goods, his business, and bought a van and parked in the parking lot of a health food store. And every day he would go in and read and buy vitamins. And before you know it, he restored his health. He said, everybody needs to know this. Everybody. So he started a supplement company called the Garden of Life, which are world great vitamins. Okay? But he said, you know what? This isn't the right way to make vitamins. He started thinking and pondering and just reinventing himself. So he sold that company. Poor guy, I know he's starving to death now for $50 million. So poor guy, I feel sad for him. Okay? So then what happened? He bought 2 farms. One of them was in Missouri. The other one is in Nashville, which I'm going to go visit in March. And he spent the next 4 years tilling the soil, developing this regenerative farm. So the cows would provide the fertilizer to grow the soil, which would feed, he just did this whole thing. And so then he took those animals and those plants, and he made them into a company called Ancient Nutrition. And started that company and cranked it up like crazy, way better than Garden of Life. He said, you know what? I got to do something different. So he sold that company for $100 million. Again, poor man, feel sad for him. Okay? And guess what he did next? He partnered with Max Living. Because he saw each individual clinic being part of a bigger picture of providing what's necessary to restore the world back to health. Because he couldn't do it with just his vitamins. There's more to it than just vitamins. But what he's doing, he'll be making all those supplements, he'll be making all of them for us. He started off with these 3. And these are very exciting. Okay? So we got inflammation and immune support. How important is reducing systemic inflammation and restoring immune function? Kind of important in 2025, especially when they're pitching stuff to us. How about energy? Cellular health equals energy. Who wants more energy? Anybody? The name of the seminar is called Pure Energy, in case you forgot. Digestion and detox. And I got to tell you, this part right here, this detox part, that's the part that makes me poop my pants. It's so exciting. It's going to be awesome. Okay? So check this out. Regenerative organic certified organs. We're using the animals to create this. Iron, 133. This is the vitamin, multivitamin. Iron, 130%, zinc, 109, copper, 1,600%, 5,000%. Oh my God, 5,000%? Isn't that dangerous? Absolutely not. So let's talk about vitamin development in the world. Okay, here's what they did. They said, my gosh, these poor people are dying. We need to make one-a-day multiple vitamin. Who will remember that, the one-a-days. Okay? How they created something called the MDRs, minimum daily requirements. The minimum amount of vitamin you need to not be dead, to not get the disease. I can't wait to take a vitamin that makes me not be dead and not get a disease. So the scientists got together and said, you know what, this isn't working. We got to do something better. So we're going to make something called the recommended daily allowances. So they went back to their labs and they scratched their head and they doubled the MDRs. How much science is that? Okay, we'll do double vitamin A, double vitamin B12. There was no thought in it at all. So when you see RDA on the side of a package and you see 5,000% of the RDAs, term so what comes to mind? Because this is based upon science. And all this stuff, by the way, is tested and double-blind placebo and all the science research stuff. So that's really what you're taking right there. There's some chicken in there, there's some turkey in there, there's some cow in there, there's a little bit of wheat, maybe some beans. It's all based upon, it's whole food supplements. They're not manufactured, which was Garden of Life. He made something better and partnered with ML. So it's a pretty exciting time. Cellular longevity. This is for hormone balance and energy. So look at this, PQQ. Who knows what PQQ is? I can't say the real word. That's why I call it PQQ. Okay, CoQ10. It's the most powerful, most metabolically active form of CoQ10 in the world, which is a massive antioxidant and also part of the energy machine. Antioxidant, melon extracts. But check this one out. Now this is the DL part you guys don't know about, or that nobody's supposed to know. Ashwagandha root. What is ashwagandha? It's an adaptogen, which means it adapts to the environment that it's exposed to. What does it do? It lowers cortisol levels. What does cortisol cause your sugar levels to do? Go up. Now, this is the cool part, okay? KSM 66, that's the type of ashwagandha from Elevate Organics. Guess what Max Living just did? We partnered with Elevate Organics. So we get the most powerful ashwagandha on the planet Earth that we get to put into our supplements. Ooh, it doesn't make you want to pee your pants, I'm telling you. Exciting, okay? I don't know. I'm just signing the document that says Beyond Organics and had the meeting with them. Don't ask me. Methylation. Why do B vitamins have to be methylated? Anybody know? Absorption. So if you methylate, you absorb faster. Okay? Wysnania, coagulants. It's an antioxidant. It activates your antioxidants so that you can scavenge those free radicals that we're going to be exposed to, right? We're going to be, because we live in the world. We're going to drink the water. We're going to breathe the air. So we have to protect ourselves. Okay? Where are we? Inflammation and immune support, okay? This is awesome too, all of it, okay? Vitamin A and vitamin D. What do A and D do? They're in perfect proportion, by the way. You take vitamin A and vitamin D, hook them into a stem cell, guess what they become? Helper cells, which is the general in the army or the service that activates all the armament in your immune system in the perfect balance. So what is that going to do to your immune system? Supercharge it. Vitamin K, we talk about, Dr. A, I have thick blood. I have to thin my blood. The doctor told me I have to take those blood thinners or I'm going to die. Really? How about if we just do vitamin K2, MK7, which is from the same company, arterial inflammation and cardiovascular disease protection? Kind of cool, yeah? Okay? Hydrolyzed eggshells. Who has trouble with joints, ligaments, tendons, back pain, neck pain, and headaches? Anybody? Boom, there you go. That's going to take down that body systemic inflammation. Anybody want to be more beautiful? Who can be more beautiful than this? Come on, be honest. Don't be honest. Okay? And all the other stuff. I'm not going to keep reading that. It's crazy because I want to get to this part. Digestion and detox. Okay? Now, this is the gut. Up here, that's the inside of the gut where the magic happens, where it breaks down the food and whatnot. Got it? Now, it goes through this thick mucus lining with all those probiotics that helps to digest. Those are the microbiota go, come to me, and draws the food in, right? Then it goes through these tiny little junctions right here, and this guy right here, and this guy right here, and this guy right here, which are part of the immune system, go, hey, magnesium, how you doing? Head down the channel. Oh, head down there, Mr. Calcium C. Go ahead. That's fine. Yeah, go down there, Mr. Amino Acid 4. Enjoy that. That's what so it doesn't hurt anything, right? It's not going to attack it. Why would it attack your food? Because of this. Because of the garbage we just talked about, the pesticide, glyphosate. Who's glyphosate? You heard of glyphosate? What's a non-fancy name for glyphosate? Say it louder. Roundup. Okay? It's been sprayed on our food supply. It kills everything but the food supply. And of course it kills us too, because it's on the food supply and we consume it. And that's what that stuff does. It damages the microbiota and opens up these channels. So all this garbage can go into your bloodstream, and the story gets better. Because this poor guy is working his butt off, trying not to let all that stuff into our body. He gets confused and guess what he starts attacking? Us. Autoimmunity starts to show up. Okay? And more fun. We'll get more detail later. But microplastics. Okay? Microplastics. Okay, there's Ubers inside our body. We talked about that a lot with Ubers, right? You have hemoglobin that carries oxygen. You have insulin that carries sugar. Well, we have microplastics that carry toxins and pesticides and herbicides into the bloodstream. Isn't that nice? So now we gape these holes. We now have the microplastics drawing the stuff into our bloodstream, and it circulates through the liver. Around and round it goes. Then the body goes, what are we going to do with this? I don't know. My God, what should we do with it? We have to store it someplace to save us from this poisonous crap. Sticks it in our fat cells. We can't lose weight because the body won't allow it. Why would you? It's a buffer against the poison. I can't lose any weight, doctor. That's because you're toxic. We got to clear out the toxins, right? We learned about what? Linoleic acid, which is your seed oils, right? We learned about that. Now we're learning about glyphosate. We're learning about all this stuff. So apply it, okay? All right, so let's continue, okay? All right. Oh, this is cool. Okay? So these are the normative. Those are negative. They're control group, okay? They said, we're going to measure the permeability of your gut. How much stuff's making it through, okay? So this is normal. This is normal. And then we gave these people glyphosate. That's this line right here. So what happened to the permeability? The floodgates opened and let all that poison into your body for neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, and the like. Because this stuff passes through your blood-brain barrier and kills you, okay? Then we put this stuff in here, right here. AB221E8, which is in this supplement. And look what it did. It narrowed up. It's a glyphosate shield. So the stuff, you're going to have it in your food. It's just going to happen. Even if you eat organic. You put it in your pie hole, down it goes, and then what? It's estimated, and in this room right now, 70 to 81% of you have glyphosate inside your body. So what do you think? When I'm going to get rid of that? It's that Roundup herbicide, and it's worse in kids. The concentration is 10 times worse in children. Are you leaving your children home? Are you bringing them in and getting them adjusted and taking care of them? What are you doing with your kids? Is that a problem for us or not? I think you should take it seriously. Okay? So, there it is. AB22. Bacillus subtilis does all those cool things, but look at this. It's a glyphosate shield. You put in the glyphosate, and out it goes. No absorption. Kind of neat, huh? Microplastics. Okay? Now, before we get into microplastics, I brought these from my house. All right. Okay, I admit it, I use that. Okay, I don't want to smell bad for you guys. Okay, so that's Listerine Cool Mint. That's my contact case right there. My contacts are made out of plastic. This is a thing you put for your face to protect you, oxidative protection that's made in plastic. This is the stuff I have to put in my contact case. Then I have another one I have to do for that's all made of plastic. Then what do we got? Well, we got some stuff going on inside my bathroom, so these calcium deposits. So I use I spray that into my shower. Once that goes into where? Into the water supply. Yeah, that's okay. We don't mind, right? Nobody cares. Okay, what about this? Okay, we got these things. Okay, we got hydrogen peroxide in a plastic bottle, right? Oh, I poured it in my wound. Oh, that didn't hurt me at all, did you? Okay, some people recognize that. Baggie, anybody? Okay, what about this? Oh, I drink bottled water. It's good for me. Water's good for me. Yeah, but guess what? These microplastics absorb into your body, mimic estrogens. Men, who wants prostate cancer? Raise your hand. Just me, I guess. Women, who wants ovarian and breast cancer? Raise your hand. Didn't hear that? That's what this causes. So stop putting this crap inside of your body. Use something different. Use the steel, the stainless steel stuff. Got it? This is our addiction to plastic. That's our problem. We have too many plastics. Okay? It's in microbeads in cosmetics, you ladies and your cosmetics. Okay? Synthetic fibers in textiles, and we've also got it in larger plastic bottles and bags. Through the environmental exposure, they break down these big chunks. We throw them in our landfills and they end up in our water supply. Found in water, air, food, fish, shellfish, and even beverages. Okay? What does it cause? I don't know, something fun. Toxic chemical exposure. Leaching additives, phthalates, and BPA can disrupt the hormones in the body. Immune system, chronic inflammation, immune dysregulation, gut disruption, microbiome imbalances, carrier toxins, microplastic transports that into your body. Remember I talked about the Uber? There it is. We have an addiction to plastic in this world. And we can't stop it. So what we got to get around it. We can't get rid of it, so we have to do it. They're endocrine disruptors. I just said that. They're obesogens. Microplastics make us fat. And I can't lose any weight. Remember that poor girl from the beginning of the program who's exercising like a maniac, eating lettuce for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and can't lose any weight? Gee, I wonder why. All right, so here we go. Saccharomyces, that's your probiotic, but this is the cool part, okay? It's B. licheniformis, Bacillus licheniformis. Guess what it does? Breaks down microplastics and eliminates them from your body. How cool is that? Guys, this has never been in any supplement in the history of the world. We're the first people that are going to get it. You guys are the first people to put it in your bodies and start pulling out the microplastics that make us sick.
Does it remove the ones that are in your
Mm-hmm. That's the cool, because you're going to get exposed to it. When am I going to stop putting this in my contact case? I actually asked my eye doctor and said, can I get something that's not in plastic? She said, no, it doesn't exist. That's the problem, right? And this is our world, isn't it? We just can't see it. If we pull it up, that's what it looks like. Our fish are inundated, our bodies, it's everywhere. So, digestion and detox provides respiratory support. You ready for this? Okay. Now, in this room, we got two groups of people, vaccinated and unvaccinated, and I'm not even making a point about that. The point is this, that if you took a vaccination, you're sloughing off your immune system to me when you breathe on me. And we're doing the opposite if you're unvaccinated. Okay? So you're doing that. But if you've been exposed, you ever wonder why right now everybody's so dang sick with that respiratory thing? You want to know why? Because of that. And what does this do? It strengthens the respiratory system in the lungs. Okay? This is all immune stuff, right? And digestion stuff. Immune enhancement. Okay? So, if I haven't made my case, I hope I have. This is the immune system bundle. It's in your packet right there. Those 3 items right there. So you know why you need to get them. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you right now, here's the issue I have. I've spoken to families right now that want this product already. I took them aside. Because I know what they do. Is they buy me out of everything. They're going to buy like 3 months worth. They're going to buy everything. You guys aren't going to get anything. So I beg them, listen, don't buy out my product. Let my people get it. We'll get some stuff later. We literally just got the immune stuff. When? When did we get it? Today at what time? 4:30. We got it today. That's how demanded upon this is already. Okay, we got all the stuff earlier than this. Finally, I was praying to God we were going to get it today. But don't go crazy and buy 700,000 of them. Buy enough for you and your loved ones in your family. Buy like 1 month's worth, 2 months worth. Go ahead. No, they don't. It should be fine. But again, I don't want you, got to make sure everybody has a chance to get it. So make sure you get them tonight because I don't want to run out. So here's what we've done, okay? This is no longer the Pure Energy Bundle. This is going to replace our Focus 4. These are now introducing the new Lifetime supplements. These are going to be your lifers. So instead of the men's and women's essentials and all that stuff, you're going to replace it with this now. Okay, that was great in its day, but it's manufactured. Remember I talked about manufacturing? Now we're going to actually create these whole food supplements and replace everything with those these kind. So you're going to add to that some type of a green product and the bone broth protein. Or maybe bone broth, whey plant, whatever your flavor is of the week, unless I've told you specifically. Okay, got it? So make sure you pick up that bundle. So I want everybody to pick up a bundle. Okay? Fix your mindset. Read this book. It talks about atomic habits. Now we think about atomic being powerful and strong and big, right? Yeah, it's also microscopic. They talk about microscopic steps. How many people, when they pour their coffee, can stop for 1 minute and meditate for 1 minute a day? Anybody? Anybody do that? 1 minute I'm asking for. Can you do that? Of course you can. That's what he talks about in this book. So make sure you read it. Goals versus systems. He talks about systems. Goals are great, but they don't get it done until you get systems, and you change your identity of who you become. Think about smoking. You have a former smoker, I'm trying to quit smoking, versus I'm a non-smoker. That's how you change it, by changing your identity on who you are. I'm a fit person. I'm a person who exercises. I go and make my adjustments to make sure my nervous system is working. It's all about the habits. Movement habits, okay? Do this stuff. Follow the guidelines. Movement habits, sleep habits, meal and timing habits. Follow those guidelines, everything we've talked about. Light habits. You got to get out in the sunshine. You got to get out there for vitamin D and other things. We got to blue light at nighttime. Stay away from those cell phones. They keep you up at night and jack with your sleep. And so make sure you get that. Temperature habits. High heat exposure and then get cold. Got to do both. And it stimulates your body's function and immune system. Water habits. Make sure you're drinking plain. Stay away from tap water. Get out in nature and overhaul your garbage, plastic stuff as best you can. Okay? High intensity exercise. How do you get this? You got to come. There it is right there. YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, and I want you to all start getting on there and exercising. I expect them to watch those videos, and they're going ding, 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 and you're all getting on there and exercising. Okay? Chiropractic Plus Thornton, and go to playlist and search the word workout. You're going to find 50 exercise videos. Start doing them. I can't. My sister was in a wheelchair. She did it. You can do it. 30-day challenge. I dare you. In fact, I double dog dare you. I double dog dare you to all do the 30-day challenge. I double dog dare you. Open up, get your cell phones out. You want to do it anyway, so get it so you don't get the dopamine rush. Open up your camera and take a picture. Okay? Hold on. We got to get that up there for you. And there, take a picture with your phone. So get that picture. Let me get out of your way. Hold on. Over here. Okay. Come on, guys. We only got a few minutes. Otherwise, we're going to go till 10. Got it? Come on. Get a picture. Get your picture. I double dog dare you. I double dog dare you. And watch what happens to your body. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I'm moving. I'm changing. I'm going. Come on. I'm moving. I'll come back to it later. Okay, Action plan for the challenge. You're going to find yourself an accountability partner. Dr. A, I don't know anybody. You know how many people don't know anybody? Anybody's in this room there are? A lot. Start talking to each other. Hey, I'll be your partner. Let's be partners. One day a week, I'm asking you to do accountability work and then organize your activities. Okay? I feel good, therefore I'm healthy. Agreed or disagree? Anybody? Exactly. It could be you just don't know. How do you know? When the body is functioning at its optimum. What is health? Okay? And this is the important piece. Because this is the stuff. We're going to talk about facts. Facts. Okay? And this is the part everybody forgets because they start feeling bad, they start forgetting my name. Okay? So we've got to make sure we know this. The nervous system. The body is always talking to the brain through the nervous system. And then what happens? The brain is listening and activates the resources that we're talking about tonight to get our bodies healthy. So we've got to have the communication piece. And I had actually a conversation with a new patient. He goes, I don't believe you. I don't believe the nervous system does all that. I said, really? If you took a set of wire cutters and cut the nerve to your heart, what would happen to you? Instantly. So if we squeeze on it and let it flow a little bit, you're choking off life energy. Yeah, Superman. Now, they're going to work unless what? Unless something interferes with it. Thank you, Mark. Perfect. Now, we're looking for perfectly aligned bones, right? Because that term, when it's out of alignment, is called the subluxation. And what causes it? Now, think about the program you just watched. What's that going to cause? Chemical stress on the body is going to create it. Emotional stress, I probably created that because of the program. My apologies. Okay? And then physical trauma to the body. And that's our devices mostly. We're staring at these dang phones. Right? So bones in your spine are the armor that protects your lifeline. They become the nemesis to your nerves. So without a clean nervous system, I don't give a crap what vitamins you take. I don't care what exercise you do. You are not going to be healthy unless you got the nervous system. So if you are a guest here tonight, you're going to walk up to the front and tell them, I want my x-ray and I want to get checked right now. End of story. Because that's a piece that, maybe the lady, the medical doctor in the front end from Stanford, did she mention the nervous system at all? She was never taught that in medical school either. Okay? All right, so we've got to get this happening. So to be healthy, you need two things. Communication, that's the chiropractic piece. Don't ignore it. Just because I didn't spend a lot of time on it doesn't mean it's not important. It's more important than anything else. Communication and then the resources. Okay? So this is a perfect curve. One of my patients right there. There's her neck. That looked like a nice 45-degree curve in the neck? Yeah. This is another patient. He came in 2018 and left when he felt better. Was his spine corrected, yes or no? No. But he disappeared because he felt good. I don't like to help how you feel, right? That's what they teach. This is now less than 2 weeks ago, 7 years. We talked about this degenerative process over time. Look at that. No degeneration. And now look. Those bone spurs, those chicken beaks are eating at that nervous system, destroying him. This guy right here is going to end up with cardiovascular problems, esophageal reflux, perforated ulcer, asthma, COPD, or some type of lung problem. Because that's the lung, heart, and esophagus nerve. Proof, cut it. What happens? Doesn't work. You're dead. So make sure you're not forgetting the chiropractic piece. So, again, if you're a guest, please join the team at the front desk when you pick up your supplements at the front. Get that x-ray and schedule that review with me. So, get your x-ray taken and schedule your appointment for the program. So, we're back where we started. We finished where we began. I wanted to make the point, what? That you need to join this mission with me. I can no longer do it alone because you need to help them. So please, when you invite people into the practice, make sure you let them know what they're getting themselves into. This is not a transactional office. Let me crack your neck and make your headache feel better. That's a transaction. We're a lifestyle, lifetime practice. Our goal is to transform a world. And I got to do it with your help. So when you get to the front, pick up your supplements. You're going to tell the girls, I'm coming to dinner and I'm bringing blah number of people with me. Okay? And we're going to take over the restaurant. And there it is, March the 4th. If you didn't write it down, do it now or take a picture. Okay? Dinner with the doc. And what did I say? We are helped to transform our world. I need your help.